Welcome, Brian. Man, you guys have been busy on the platform.
Yeah, it's been interesting the last like 8 days. It's kind of been a whirlwind. It's been growing so fast and kind of blew me away.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't know who you were until a couple of days ago, and we were both, of course, on Clubhouse, and I see you in speaking, on stages far more than me. I think I'm a little more shy, and I reluctantly go to those stages sometimes, but find that now that I'm doing this, I get called up more than I
Yeah.
maybe want to. But I got really turned on about what you guys are doing with a forum that you've started related to the platform. Why don't you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, we just launched it. It's BitCloutForums.com with an S at the end. Uh, Basically, the idea of the forum is to kind of provide a centralized location for everybody to get information about BitClout. I mean, like
Hey,
there's
hey,
other
Brian,
platforms like
Brian.
Clubhouse and Discord and all of those, but you lose the information so fast that I thought that it'll be
Hey,
good to have a centralized location that's searchable, that people can kind of get their answers and not have to ask the same question over and over and over again like some of these other platforms.
hey, Brian. Can we start over?
Sure.
You were hearing me okay?
Yeah, no, I can hear you.
Are you hearing me better now?
It
Because
seemed about the same.
okay. Well, I just want to double check that, and we'll just edit that out. And I just felt like something just dropped out all of a sudden, and
Uh,
that I couldn't
no,
hear
you,
myself.
you were good on my end.
Okay, so I'm just going to pick up from. Why don't you tell us about the forum?
Sure.
So go ahead.
Yes, so we launched a forum. It's BitCloutForums.com, and S at the end. And the idea behind it is to kind of provide like a centralized location for all the BitClout users or would-be BitClout users to kind of congregate and ask questions and get answers. There's a lot of other platforms like Clubhouse and Discord where people are asking questions, but they get lost because it just moves so fast. So you can kind of go to bitcloutforums.com and get answers. People probably already asked the question that you already asked, so you don't even have to ask it again. You can just search and find the answer. It also has all other folders where users can kind of share tips and advice and find new people that are entering the platform if you're buying coins. So it's kind of just a central location for BitClout users.
So that all of a sudden made sense to me because I've just been watching and listening in on these clubhouse rooms, and there's some of the most giving and patient people in the world moderating some of these rooms, and they're onboarding just one person after another. And you hear some of these moderators saying, "Oh, I've been doing this all night long. I've been helping people." And I think that's awesome. But, through the scaling of this, it's going to be impossible. So I love that you're making it to where a person can just find the information that's already been answered. So what do you think? It's been what, a day or two now since you've started it?
Yeah, we launched it about 3 days ago, I think. We have about 290 members. We're
I'm
actually
one.
we're doing something kind of unique in that every member who signs up, we're actually buying a small amount of their coin so that when they succeed, we succeed, and vice versa. If they buy our coin, as the coin goes up, as the forum gets more popular, they can kind of take advantage of that as well. So I think it's an interesting concept in itself, and it's kind of using the BitClout platform in the way it's supposed to be used.
Well, yeah, and I think watching you guys and there's another project, the Gift Clout, I think, and I'm seeing you guys are just buying people's coins like crazy, and
Yeah,
that's
no,
no
GiftCloud
small
is
investment.
actually GiftCloud isn't ours. We
No,
know
I
the
know it's
guys
not.
behind it. It's an
No,
awesome project. But yeah, I just don't want to take credit for that because
no, no,
it's
no.
a couple people
I
that are.
wasn't trying to presume that, but
Yeah.
I'm just pointing out that seeing you guys and them in the past day or two, and hearing you guys talk in the same rooms, it does kind of point out to me the sort of unique nature of the giving part of this, and sort of the you get more than you give as a result. And how have you seen that? I mean, not that that's your intention.
You know,
And
and I think that the platform's in a unique spot where right now, a lot of other platforms like Twitter or Facebook, it kind of rewards people for being controversial and rewards people with follows and likes and retweets for posting things that not necessarily are good, but just controversial. So BitClout basically, it's rewarding people for being good people in my mind. I mean, sure, it can be good. It can go the opposite way. There could be a bunch of bad people that buy their own coin and preach hate and division and all that, and they could bubble to the top. But the way that BitClout is set up is that the people with higher coin prices, their comments are going to the top. So if you can amplify good on this platform, then the whole platform is going to take a I guess have a better future. And that's actually, we're going to work, Ed and I are working on a project that we're announcing next week, where we're going to seek to amplify people that are preaching equality or doing things that are helping the social good of humanity. And it's going to be an interesting project. And I think it's going to kind of have a lot of cool features that are going to hopefully push BitClout in a positive way, rather than let it fall down into the hands of those there's people filled with hate and division and all that. So hopefully we can kind of push things along, since it's kind of the early stage.
So what about sort of a pay it forward type of thing? You guys are investing an awful lot of money into helping people, but in what way can you encourage those people that you've jump started into the platform to say, okay, we've done it. Your coin may double and triple in the next few days. Why don't you do it twice or something like that?
Yeah, no, I think that's a great idea. And if these people are either making money or they're getting more publicity and their posts are kind of getting amplified, I think they can do the same thing and amplify others who are doing good, and maybe buy the coin of others who are doing good so that they can be amplified. So I think that the platform in general is kind of pushed towards good, and unlike other platforms, and this might just be because it's in its early stages, you don't see the hatred and the divisive tactics and the arguing back and forth. You kind of see people willing to help other people and amplify things that people are doing for the good of humanity. And I think that has a lot to do with the coin value. Most people, if they're going to go and start hating on others or posting hate speech, likely they're not going to have a high coin value. People are probably going to sell the coin if they already own it. So I think it has a very, very good potential to lead to good things rather than bad.
Right. So, yeah, I agree. There's been a lot of positivity so far, and we all know that the negativity and the haters are going to show up. I'm concerned about pornography and stuff like that, and I don't know to what degree there's moderation there. Because I've already seen at least nudity, and which I'm not offended by nudity, but I don't really need my son watching it or anything. But then what I have seen just so far is really, it's nothing compared to what you can find on the web, and it goes so deep, and so it's so hideous that stuff can just hit the stream and it's there, and who's going to watch it? I mean, because this thing could never last if it were a Pornhub or something showing up.
Yeah, and I think right now it appears that the global feed is being curated by actual people and not an algorithm, which is good because that kind of stuff is not getting put into the global feed. So the people that are seeing that kind of like pornography and stuff are probably people following those who are posting it. And the good thing about that is that if you do see that, you can simply unfollow them or even block them.
Right. So, and I guess because I've been fooled a couple of times where I think I'm following somebody who is all about a certain project. Like I'm into crypto with some of our projects, and I'll see somebody who say, "Oh, I'm a part of the Estonia project or whatever." And so I think, well, that's somebody I might want to follow because it's related to cryptocurrency and blockchain. But then you see their feed is they're all about showing off their body, and in an artful way so far what I've seen. But I was fooled by it. Like I wasn't like trying to go follow that, but I ended up following it. It's strange.
Yeah, I think like At least you have the opportunity to unfollow them or even block them if you don't like
Yeah.
their content. But yeah, I mean, I guess it is a concern, especially if teenagers and younger people
Yeah.
start getting on there. They shouldn't see it at all.
Right.
But at the same time, I guess some other platforms, there is other stuff like that too, like
Oh yeah.
Twitter and
Yeah.
Instagram. There still is that kind
Right.
of material on there. So yeah, I think that so far it's been good, but who knows what's going to happen as it
Right.
grows and expands.
So I had a couple of questions in regard to that. One is the whole global feed concept. Explain that, because it's kind of, I didn't even notice it really at first. Is it kind of like two distinct feeds you get as opposed to what you might on other platforms?
Yeah. So you have like on Twitter, you're just gonna see things from people you follow. But on BitClout, you have two tabs. You have the followers tab and then the global feed. And the global feed seems to be just posts that I assume are being curated by the developers working on BitClout.com. And that's usually stuff. So far, it's been about BitClout, like a lot of posts about BitClout, but there's other stuff too. Uh, and then you have the following feed, which is just every post from people you follow.
Right. And then, you mentioned, I can't, I want to go to this direction. I don't even know what you mentioned that brought me here, but yesterday I was in a room, an April Fool's room, that I didn't know was April Fool's. It was people talking about planning your strategy on BitClout. And I'm like, oh, well, this might be interesting. And so I'll listen more than anything just while I'm working, and I'm listening along. And about 15 minutes in, I'm like, are they going to actually talk about strategy? Are they going to talk about anything? This is just like a stoner room or something. And so I was just about to turn it off and switch to something else. And then you guys showed up and started talking to them. And then they kind of finally, and you were talking very, like you would normally. And then they decided to finally let you know, it's like, don't you know, this is a April Fool's room. We're just here to attack people involved with BitClout. And you guys did a fantastic job of navigating that.
Oh, thanks.
And I was like, this has to end. And you guys ended it very well and went on and thanked them. And I thought we were as gracious as anybody could be. But then I stuck around for about 5 minutes afterwards. And I was like, I feel like I'm watching an episode of Beavis and Butthead. And I was like, this is crazy. But I thought, this is the future of BitClout. I mean, these people will be on BitClout
Yeah,
before it's over.
and it was kind of funny because I thought it was a BitClout room and I was just going to talk about BitClout, and I
Right.
got in there and they kind of ambushed me and said, "How dare you be promoting BitClout? How dare you? I have teenage girls and they're so offended. They're depressed because they're being cyberbullied on Twitter." And it's like everybody's on social media. Teenagers are all on social media. Having another platform as a social media platform isn't going to make things worse. And I think that it could make things better just because of the way it's rewarding people for posting positive content and posting and contributing to the platform. So I kind of tried to express that to them. I'm sure there's going to always be people who
Oh
are
yeah. Yeah.
skeptics and aren't going to even listen to the other side. But at least I got to kind of explain it, whether they that change their minds or not, who knows.
Yeah. Well, the contrast was amazing because I had just come from a clubhouse room listening in to people like yourself and others who have been very remarkable in what they've been doing. And the energy is just vibrant. And then you hit this room and I'm like, did these people just now wake up after, who knows? I mean, it was just like the contrast was amazing. So anyway, and as far as that goes, I'm still on the fence about where this will lead. We don't know. And personally, I'm not going to let my kids have uh, Twitter or any of that stuff until they're like maybe close to getting out of high school or somewhere where I feel like they may be able to navigate it. But the idea that a person's worth is tied to this market value that's applied here, and that can swing as volatilely as Bitcoin,
Right,
and
right.
that is a real deal. That's a real thing we've got to look forward to, like trying to help kids and everyday people navigate. But it's also probably it in some ways, I don't know that it's much different than just the normal social media metrics that people attach their identity to anyway.
Yeah, no, and I think like just like people are rewarded on Twitter with follows, people are rewarded on BitClout with both follows and a coin value. And I think it could swing either way. It could become a bad thing, I guess, if it doesn't, if we don't push it in the right direction. And I'm the biggest skeptic on all these new platforms, and I have an open mind. I can understand people having concerns and skepticism. I mean, I still do, because I think we need to have an on-ramp to be able to sell the token. I think that there are concerns about maybe teenagers kind of competing with each other for clout, and maybe rubbing them the wrong way, or kind of the ones that don't have the coin value of their friends might get depressed or become upset. But I think we have to give it a chance. And so far, what I've seen and the developers behind it, I think that they're at least trying to put things in the right direction. And I think I'm optimistic that it's going to have a bright future. But I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I am too. But what was your thought when you first learned about it? Like for me, I learned the word one day through a tech discussion. I just heard it and I thought, I don't know what that is. And I think I may have Googled it, or I don't know, something I saw didn't really turn me on. And I was just dismissed it right away. And the next day I actually went into some BitClout room for some reason, probably some clickbaity thing. And within a little while I was like, I think I need to look into this. And so within a few hours I was onboarded, and I went through the confusing onboarding process with the help of some people on Clubhouse. And then an hour later, I'm like, maybe I need to do a podcast on this. And by the next day I had started I was recording my first episode. So it was amazing how fast I was able to change my mind. What was your process of that?
Yeah, I think I probably saw the same articles that you did. I know TechCrunch had an article in it, and it didn't paint it in a very positive manner. And I kind of blew it off. I didn't really look too much into it. And then like the next day, I was on Clubhouse and I was invited to a room, and I think, wow, this is kind of cool. And for those who don't know, Ed and I were both banned from Twitter 2 years ago, and they banned us. They said that we were buying our account. That we bought our account and we were buying our engagement, and they put that out to the press. And there's several articles out there saying that we did and we didn't. And actually on Monday, this coming Monday, we have a conversation between our attorneys, Twitter's attorneys, and Twitter representatives to see if they can rectify it and at least clear our names from doing anything bad. I don't really care if I get my Twitter account back. I'm kind of past that. But we had 1.5 million followers combined on Twitter. And it hurt when we were banned, because not because we were banned, but because all the people that believed in what we were doing and following us were kind of let down and led to believe that we were doing something wrong. So once a new platform like BitClout came out, I was kind of like, I want to check this out. I mean, this is an alternative, and it's decentralized. So even if somebody doesn't like you, or if they have other reasons to ban you, they can't really do it. And BitClout is that platform, it seems. Now, right now, it's not as decentralized as it's supposed to be. Right now, it's just pretty much BitClout.com. But over the long run, it's going to become decentralized. And if those working at BitClout decide they want to ban people or moderate a certain way, then a new website can come out, use the same exact database from the blockchain, and not ban people and not moderate. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. And I'm kind of on the fence on whether these platforms should be moderating posts. I think certain things need to be moderated. Certain people should be banned, hate speech and stuff like that. But I think that BitClout is a unique opportunity, because there could be actually several different sites running the same exact blockchain database.
Yeah, that's very interesting. It makes me think, what about a billionaire, multi-billionaire, or state actor? How should I put it? Doing a hostile takeover. This literally just came to my mind as you said that. Like, if your coin is set to where your founder's reward is pretty low, could let's say George Soros, let's say Trump joins and he just somehow blows up on this platform. But George Soros is like, well, I'm not going to have this. I can buy him out of this. I could go on and say Trump's like, I've got a zero reward, zero founders reward. And then Soros comes and throws $5 billion at it, pulls the rug. I mean, I'm just kind of thinking as I'm talking, but there's ways people can game this.
Yeah, no, for sure.
We haven't even thought of them yet.
Well, and just the fact that people with money can actually buy a higher coin price by just pretty much buying millions of dollars in their coin. I don't know what the limit is, but they can do that.
Like
and their post will be amplified.
So I'll say it here. I'll set my founder's reward at 5% if some billionaire will come buy $100 million worth of my coin. I'll walk away.
Right, exactly.
They can pull the rug all they want.
Yeah, anyway. Exactly. And I guess the option for you to do that kind of is what's so great about BitClout, is that if that did happen, you could just stop posting and create a new account.
Yeah, there you go. It's very provocative for sure. Just the I've had some pretty unique ideas, and then I've heard some amazing unique ideas in the past week, and I've been amazed at some of the businesses that have popped up already in 2 weeks. Like, when did you join the platform? How many days ago do you think?
It was 9 days ago.
Wow. You're an OG. I'm like 7 days ago.
Yeah, right.
So that's amazing to me how quickly, I've started a new portion of my business, and probably you have too, that here we are, and maybe we feel like we're way ahead of other people, but people joining today and this time next week, new businesses will be launched that haven't even been thought of by people that haven't even heard of BitClout yet.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. There's so many new websites coming out. Like there's BitClout Pulse, there's BitClout Lists, there's BitClout Forums. There's so many different, I guess, like platforms on top of the platform that are gonna make money and probably create jobs. So it's interesting.
Yeah, I've picked up a few domains to tuck away, maybe sell them someday. But so tell me this. My mom was a twin, but I couldn't imagine her and her twin sister going into business together. How do you guys come to terms with something like this? Like, you've sort of joined in a way at the same, you're joined under the same handle, and you're promoting a new forum together as a brand. What's the conversation like is there a lot of tension involved, and should we do it this way or should we do it at all? And how does that work for you guys?
No, I mean, Ed and I have been pretty much doing everything together. We went to college together. We dormed together. We've had 3 or 4 businesses that we launched together in the past. So it's kind of, we're just so used to doing it. And this, right now, we're kind of just more laid back and just seeing where it goes. If this fails, it's not a big deal to us. I think we're more in it for the social aspects of it. Like I said, we lost our Twitter, and I'm kind of a big proponent of being able to express ourselves without worry of kind of what others think. And I think that the social aspects of this and what it kind of means for us and for everybody else has us more intrigued than maybe the financial gain right now. But it's not really tension. There's no tension, I guess. And the thing that's great about it is that we can kind of both work on it and kind of amplify our account more and work harder, so people can buy our coin if they want, because they're getting 2 for the price of 1, I guess.
Right. I mean, I would like to interview Ed, but maybe it'll be the same interview. I mean,
it probably
it's just, I didn't know which one of you I was going to get. I had to keep asking, who's going to be on the show?
He lives 4 houses down from me, so I could have had him come over, but he's busy today.
All right. So, not to get too personal, but you guys as twins seem to be in harmony with each other. But what's it like with your, I don't presume, significant others or spouses, when you guys are so in tune with what your next step is. What's it like with the spouses or
No,
significant others?
that's a good question. They're like best friends. They hang
Oh,
out all
really?
the time. And I have two kids, 4 and 2, and Ed has a 7-year-old and a 4-year-old. So they're all like kind of like brothers and sisters almost.
Wow,
And
that's
actually,
awesome.
genetically, they're kind of like half brothers and sisters.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can relate. I have very close cousins that way through, twin moms. But well, that's cool. All right, so now I think you mentioned another project you're coming up with, or was that the Twitter thing you're going through?
Yeah, no, we had the other project. It's going to be a project that's looking to reward social good and social justice and equality on the platform. And we want to reward users who are doing good things on the platform by buying their coin and allowing them to be amplified. Because, like I said, those with a higher coin price are going to bubble to the top and be seen more. So if we buy their coin, we're gonna be amplifying the good of a platform. And I feel that since it's so early in the stage of this platform, we can kind of push things in a positive manner fast and kind of get the ball rolling for I guess social good.
So will that come in sort of a branded fashion?
We're gonna announce it. I just don't want to announce it yet
Right,
because I don't want people buying up the coin. We still have to decide on like exactly how we're gonna set it up and like
right.
what the founder reward will be, what the optimal setup will be. So I don't want to just announce it quite yet, but it's coming in the next week or so. Maybe by the time this airs, it will be
Yeah, yeah.
really
You'll
ready.
have to let me know, and I'll put it on the promo part of it. Would be awesome. So we'll wrap this up because I know you have family visiting, but so this has happened so fast, and we've come so far in a week or two. And fast forward, let's say 5 years. Let's presume this thing still has grown and becomes, and clouding become, the word reclout is every bit as common as retweet. What would you want to say to Brian 5 years from now about be aware of this?
I guess just
What part?
Yeah, no, I guess just I'd say like don't lose your vision of what you're kind of trying to do, and that is we're trying to kind of spread social good and use a platform to amplify that. In 5 years, a lot can change, especially if there's millions and millions of people on the platform. It's a lot harder to kind of amplify the positives if there's a lot of negative people in it as well. So I'd say just keep doing what you're doing and try and remember where you started, I guess.
Yeah. Trace, stay true to your spirit, I presume.
Right.
Awesome. Well, Brian, I can't thank you enough, and I'm really excited because we put this together rather hastily today, just like this whole podcast was launched. But I was glad you were able to jump in what little time I had today, and we could get you on because you were way at the top of my list of people to get on here. So I'm very thankful for your time.
Yeah,
And
no, awesome. I love your podcast and you're doing an awesome job. I look
thanks.
forward to seeing what else you have, who else you're going to have on.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Just keep moving forward. And where can people find you?
You can just find us on BitClout at Krassenstein. It's just our last name.
Right on. Then that's easy enough. Brian, thanks a lot.
Yep. Thanks a lot too.